So hello everyone. Thank you very much for being here with us. To start with, this is an honor for us to speak about real estate and AI because we are the first one to discuss about this domain in the GenAI Summit series. And I'm Lefteris Sergios. I'm the group head of data in REdataset Greece, joined by my colleague Theodoros Makridakis, data scientist. We are leading REdataset, the data and AI arm of RCG. And we're here to discuss about how we're using AI in real estate. We're going to walk you through our journey to discuss about how we started with traditional machine learning to deep learning, to Gen AI, and see what kind of problems we fixed, we addressed, where we're going next, and what's the things that we should discuss. Thank you very much for coming. Theodoros, over to you.
Thank you very much. Before I dive in, I want to thank the GenAI Summit team for inviting us here to speak. We are all excited to be here and honored to be the first to talk about real estate and GenAI, a space where REdataset has been leading the charge. So, I want to start making a confession. Real estate has always had an AI problem, but not the one people think. For years now, other industries race ahead with machine learning, finance automated tradings, healthcare predicted patient outcomes, retail personalized recommendations. In real estate, we're still arguing if the partially renovated kitchen could mean actually if the owner changed the handles or rebuild the entire thing. So the problem wasn't that we didn't want AI. The problem was that our data was fundamentally incompatible with how AI worked. Think now, machine learning, what needs? Structure, clean, labeled data, high frequency inputs, constant formats. Now think what real estate actually has. Handwritten inspection forms from 1987. Legal documents were the stamps covering the half text. Photos taken from 2010. And also, let's say, descriptions like a cozy apartment in a nice area could mean anything from a penthouse in Kolonaki to a studio near a highway. So, while the other tech companies were training millions of labeled data, we're still trying to figure out if, let's say, the sea view meant actually that it could see the sea, or if just the real estate agent just hoped really hard. So this is why real estate stayed stuck, not because we, let's say, lacked ambition, but because we lacked AI-ready data. So, let me break down the problem landscape, because when you see it categorically, you will understand why it was so hard to solve it. Category A, unstructured documentation. Handwritten inspection forms, and I mean truly handwritten, like doctors' handwriting levels of eligibility. Legal documents with 200 pages with bureaucratic Greek that even lawyers struggle with. Historic valuation reports scanned at potato quality, and notarial deeds where, let's say, the half text was implied by legal tradition and not actually written down. OCR, spectacular failed also. Garbage in, garbage out. So now, category B, this is my favorite one. Every agent can describe a property differently. One agent can, let's say, mean spacious. For another, it could mean, let's say, compact. We have also duplicate listings. The same apartment listed in three times by 3 different agencies with 3 different square meters, 3 different prices, and somehow even with a different number of bedrooms. So, let's say, we care more about hidden features. We also have, let's say, marketplaces, multiple marketplaces, each one with their own data standards, incomplete attributes, ambiguous categories. This is not data, this is data chaos. So, let's say, we have also incomplete attributes that, like ceiling height, or let's say natural light, or let's say actual condition. Yes, and let's go to the category C. In category C, visual complexity, we have zero standards of photos. you can see that some agents could hire professional photographers, even with drones. Another, let's say, can take blurry phone shots of a bathroom mirror, and accidentally we can see their own reflections. These hidden features, as I said before, like natural light, actual condition, and natural height, ceiling height, no algorithm can interpret this data. No algorithm can read what actually means. So, for instance, if let's say in description says that, near to schools could mean noisy during mornings, or let's say great for families, depending on who's searching. Category D, manual processes, or let's say slow, human, heavy processes. Everything required a human. Reading documents, human. Writing property descriptions, human. Data entry, human. Due diligence, human. Reading 300 pages while drinking and coughing question about their life choices. So, let's say underwriting took weeks. Inspection took days. And every step introduced error, delays, and inconsistencies. So, let's go, because this is the critical insight that most people outside of real estate don't understand. In order traditional machine learning to work, it needs three things that real estate we didn't have. The first one, label data. We had almost none. Who's going to label, let's say, 200,000 images with a modern kitchen versus a renovated kitchen versus kitchen that desperately needs renovation? B, handcrafted features. Impossible with heterogeneous photos and documents. What, let's say, feature do you extract from a handwritten note that says, owner wants to sell fast, personal situation? C, structure inputs. But real estate was the definition of unstructured. So traditional machine learning could automate pieces, could predict property prices, could, let's say, identify duplicate identical images, but it couldn't interpret data. It couldn't read text. As I said before, near to schools could mean anything, depending on who's searching, or noisy during mornings, or let's say, great for families. So, machine learning could process our data, but it couldn't understand it.
First of all, I think I feel quite stressed after all these things, because these are things that we were trying to address for decades now. And, now it's doable. This is the good news after the whole thing that, thank you. The good news is now it's doable. What seemed to be impossible and something that we used to fail during 1990s and during, the first steps that we had with data, because our group was the first one to start doing data science in real estate. But now actually we can do something. And I'm going to walk you through a little bit about what we have done so far and how we see it moving forward. First of all, and something that I suppose you got from Theodoros, is the document understanding. This one is before, and many of you understand, if you have applied OCR, most of the times we got gibberish. We're trying to extract some keywords, we're trying to understand, combination of words, doing some semantic, analysis that was quite sexy with the Google reviews. Nothing. I mean, it was just, the accuracy level was not satisfying, or it was not something that actually our partners could actually feel that it's safe to use. After GenAI, and most of you understand, now we can actually extract information from documents. We can read the text, finally. They can understand context. They can extract information. It's amazing. We can actually do something that it's quite impact. We go now to bureaucratic document summaries. This is something, because I think some lawyers were just, before some presentations. Now we can actually do some legal document summarization. We can understand, again, some legal terms. You can actually point our partners towards the right direction. Before, it was a mess. I mean, even a lawyer was trying to read the text of, because, there are a lot of bureaucratic texts around real estate. So they were trying to read it, and it was just, most of the times resigning. Semantic editing matching. Again, this is text, okay? And something that you all understand, it's when we were doing, back in the days, find the sentence that says Lefteris Alexandras Avenue, 100 Alexandras, etc., we had to make all kinds of different creative alterations to actually find that it's Alexandras 100. Now, with GenAI, we can actually point the right address of the property. And the same applies for the floors, if something is the third floor or something is Orphos Tritos, etc. Now we have the capacity to do it. Moving on to visuals, now we have also the capacity of doing some visual intelligence algorithms. So now we can look at the listings, we can actually look at the photos of the properties, and we can actually start extracting information that is irrelevant of the text. Because as Theodoros said, sometimes the real estate agents become quite creative. Now from the images, you can see if there is a view, you can see if the kitchen is renovated, or you can see if there are tiles, or if it's painted, or whatever. That's one. The second one is that you can actually deduplicate the listings. Because here in Greece, we don't have exclusivity in real estate. So you have 10 real estate agents promoting the same property. And I'm sure that everyone that actually has tried to rent or buy something has gone through this pain. Now with GenAI, we can actually deduplicate the listing. So we can keep only the ones that are more relevant and they're unique. Image to video. Again, we're talking about videography, right? I mean, videography is something that's quite expensive. Now we have some tools in GenAI that we can create videos. You all have heard, Veo 3.1, Sora, the Chinese free, and all kinds of stuff. So now what we can do is from an image from a real estate agent that, takes a photo of a property, we can convert it into a reel. That's sexier, that's punchier, it gets more traffic, it gets more clicks on a platform. And last but not least, the thing that we're focusing a lot is agent-led marketplaces. We have been all through the era of, let's select some criteria of which floor do I like, which size do I like, when is the construction year, all this kind of stuff that you continue to check different kind of filters. Or you call something and says press 1 if you want to go, or press 2, or don't press anything, go back. We are going to do some agent-led marketplaces that you're going to either speak with a natural language process, or you're going to type like a chatbot or something like that. But it's going to have an experience of getting you the property that you want, instead of actually trying, and it's going to be a 24/7 assistant in that sense.
Let me stop you for a second there. Amazing all this, okay? AI assistants, conversational searches, that's fantastic capabilities. But here's the reality. AI clean plus AI sell equals optimum. This is the holistic approach. So if, let's say, we give to the model noisy data, it doesn't matter how sophisticated the model is. And let me give you now a very Greek example that we face as a team. So grab your phones and let's say visit now any major market listing here in Greece and search about residential listings in Kea and Makronissos. Yes, in Kea and Makronissos. So what will you see? We call it the Kea Makronissos phenomenon. What will you see is that there are listings in Makronissos, in the middle of Makronissos, and you will see also in Kea many listings that don't belong to Kea. Amazing. I don't think, maybe it is a misgeocoding issue, typos, ambiguous categories, missing coordinates. So you will see listings from Evros to Crete, from Corfu to Castellorizo. So I don't know, ancient Greek believed that Delphi was the center of Greece, but may now real estate agents believe that is somewhere the center between Kea and Makronissos. We cannot understand, and we couldn't solve it because we cannot, let's say, use a rule-based mapping for every neighborhood, every municipality, every municipal unit with their all common misspellings or, let's say, grammatical variations. So GenAI came. It could read text, and now let's say, if let's say description says that this apartment is near to museum in Heraklion, Crete, it understands that it is not located in Kea. It is located in Heraklion, Crete. So yeah, this is a strange one. I don't know why. So sorry for the interruption.
Okay, you took the sexiness away, but okay. Following on, but okay, let's get some serious. Now, the thing is that for real estate, AI has never been the issue, okay? I mean, we had some issues, we had some problems, some challenges, but, we faced it one way or another. The problem is the data. It's always been the data, and it still is. You know, we have finance having the Basel III, we have the healthcare with the HIPAA, telecommunication. They all have some regulatory framework that you have some data auditing, and you can actually guarantee the data quality somehow. With real estate, there is nothing. You know, everyone can do anything, we can upload anything, we can write anything, and each company has done their own processes, and guess what? You know, it's quite bad. And when you're trying to standardize some of it, you know, the government comes with a different, you know, scattered data sources, and then, you know, it becomes a, you know what. So what we can do now? We need to raise 3 points that we all need to focus somehow, at least in the real estate sector, although I suppose, you know, it will apply to other domains as well. The AI falls without trustworthy data. You know, you don't have data that is good, probably is garbage in, hallucinations out, as we say in LLM. If we don't have data that's actually good, you know, if you have the example that Theodoros said, we have the same property, 75 square meters, 85 square meters, 95 square meters, but it's the same property, you know, it's a mess. So we need to focus on that for starters. Then we have, if you have the good data, it multiplies the GenAI value, because there's no point to create an amazing, you know, cool demo that actually, you know, does this, this, and that, but at the end of the day, it shows you the same property, 75, 85, 95, you know. There's no point. I mean, there's nothing. And then we have the data foundation. The data foundation is something that's critical for us, because in order for us to promote our work and the GenAI contribution to real estate, we need to have some foundations. Because if you have, you know, today an excited stakeholder, and I'm sure, you know, there are many in this summit, and then in 6 months you have disappointed stakeholders because, you know, it didn't work. It's not because GenAI didn't work, it's just because your data was crap, basically. So most companies should invest in models rather than, invest in data, sorry, rather than in models. And I know it's not so sexy to say, but, you know, it's better for you to spend the time to make and shape and build a data governance framework than having another data AI chatbot. You know, it will not do anything different. So what are we doing now in REdataset, and what I suppose we need to do in real estate using AI? So underwriting, for you, whoever doesn't know what's underwriting, is something close to valuation. So you need to understand, you know, a property, what it is and what it consists of. We can actually do it now in hours. Something that was used to be done in days or weeks, you know, by a big team doing many things. Due diligence. So now due diligence can be done somehow automatically, at least a big part of it. We can augment the people, the professionals that are actually handling the due diligence. It will not be archaeology anymore. It will be information fed in the report. Property descriptions. So property descriptions can write themselves. If you have a property that's located somewhere in an area and it's close to some amenities and it's also some features, we can write itself, and then you can have just a human just review it. Predictive maintenance. Okay, I mean, I am an engineer, an architect engineer in the background, so I feel for that. You know, finally we can have something that's looking at the property 24/7 and actually can raise some issues. You know, if the roof needs to be replaced, or if the windows now they're wooden and they need to be replaced as well. You know, you have something that actually can detect the flaws and it can raise them. Valuers inspectors is the same thing. We need to have some assistants that can actually help them do their work faster, more accurate, less prone to error. And then we have end-to-end transaction workflows that you can have something like an assistant, an AI assistant that can help you from the search stage all the way to the transaction, to the contract, just to finish the whole thing, to complete. So what is the takeaway of all these things? Is that we know we have issues with the data, but let's flip it. Let's flip it. Let's say that now it's an opportunity for the real estate to convert the unstructured chaos into an opportunity. Let's finally try to use GenAI to help us create the thing that we have all waited for, and have a database that is correct, and it's something for all of us, professionals and citizens alike, to actually check how real estate fluctuates.
So let me close now with a thought from Andrew G. that we believe it captures the truth that we all need to know. So AI is extraordinary, but it is not magic. It has stark limitations, and despite rapid growth, it will remain limited for a long time compared to humans. It is a general purpose technology, but not so general, let's say, not in the way headlines suggest. So I think that's the right lens for our industry. Because in real estate, the challenge was never the insufficient AI. The challenge was that our data was never ready for intelligence, human or machine. But here's this opportunity. When a GenAI meets a domain with messy documents, inconsistent attributes, and human-heavy workflows, it does not replace people, it amplifies them. It turns hours into minutes, friction into flow, and inconsistency into clarity. And so if you are working in GenAI and you are searching for a domain for your real measurable to have impact to your work, real estate is quietly becoming one of the most transformative arenas in the next decade. And if you are working in real estate and you are wondering if GenAI is a hyper-reality, yes, it's a reality, but only if it has the right foundations. And if you want to know what happens when the right data foundations meet GenAI, state-of-the-art GenAI, come to talk to us. We build the future, one data set, one pipeline, and one real-world at a time, one real-world problem at a time. Thank you very much.